Hello guys, HappyAssassin Gaming here, and we're back with another video on car duplication for you guys. Now this is a different glitch. I have not covered this one on my channel yet. Now a couple things about this glitch before we start. This is the one that you do with street cars. So the most your car is going to sell for is about 150,000 to 200,000, depending on what kind of car you get. Now here in this video I happen to find an Ubermacht or not an Oracle, Zion Cabrio, and these are actually worth quite a bit of money. So I mean, if you can find one of these right off the bat, definitely use it. The other ones that sell pretty well are the Ubermacht Oracle XS, the Ubermacht Oracle, and the Ubermacht Sentinel XS. I'm not too sure about the Sentinel, the regular version, just because I've never actually duplicated one. So first, before we can start, we do have to test the session. So what you'll see as I've done here is I parked on the left side of the road. It makes it easier. You spawn closer to your car. And then what you want to do is you want to call Gerald and request a mission. So when you get the mission sent to your phone, what you're then going to want to do is you're going to want to accept it, and then you're going to want to quit the mission immediately, and then run into your car as fast as you can and just floor the gas forward. And what we're looking for is for your car to die. If your car dies, then the lobby you're in works. As you can see right about here, my car actually died, and not the first time but the second time. So definitely try this a few times, you guys, and it will say you no longer have access to this personal vehicle. Now if we look behind us, way out in the distance there, I actually went first person here to try to showcase it a little bit better, but there's actually our duplicate spawned back there, and that one is perfectly accessible. So this lobby works. Now I'm just going to pull this car up to the side of this one, show you guys the license plate, show you guys that they are in fact the exact same car. One thing to look for when finding a lobby that may or may not work immediately is look at the number of people. This does have the tendency to work better in lobbies where there are over, at least over 20 people or so. I mean, I've had it work in lobbies where there have been like 11 or 12, but it's really rare. If I were you, as soon as you start the new session, I would just press down on the D-pad, check how many people are in your session, and then if it's less than 20, just find a new one. Also, having more than 20 does not guarantee that the glitch will work in this lobby. This lobby here actually took me about 25 minutes to find. There are sometimes I find them in 2, sometimes I get it my first try, sometimes it'll take me anywhere between 15 and 20 minutes as it did here. So you really do want to make sure that you don't give up. I promise this has not been patched. This has actually been working for a few months now. So I don't know if it's one of those things that Rockstar can't patch, or if they just really don't want to. Maybe they're slow to get around to it. I don't know. Maybe it's not as big of a concern to them just because the payout isn't quite as large. But this glitch has been working for a very long time, and it still has not been patched. So you guys, I don't think this is going to get patched any time in the near future. I'm usually pretty good at kind of sensing when things are and won't be patched. So another disclaimer, you guys may want to, and you don't have to, but you may want to invest in the Unit 2 Popular Street Garage, or the Marietta Heights Garage, or the 331 Supply Street Garage. The reason for this is because when you guys are duplicating, you have to use a certain Los Santos Customs, and that is the one over on Popular Street. Now, this will make things so much easier if you guys have this particular garage. Now, I'm using the one at Unit 2 Popular Street. The garage you use does not have to be empty, and it does not have to be the one that you want your cars to go into. Now, by default, these cars will kind of fill into any slot there is. So this right here on screen, this is the Los Santos Customs that you do want to pull into upon starting this glitch. So what we're going to do here is I just drove over to my garage. I cut that part out. You're going to want to break the door off on your car. The reason for this is because we're actually going to be doing something here in just a second. So as you can see here, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open your interaction menu, because you do not want to be sucked into your garage. This does not work with cars with trackers on them, and if you get sucked into your garage, it will put a tracker on it and ruin the whole thing. Then you have to find a new car, and it's really not fun. So do that, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pull up to this little pole here, back door slightly in front of it, and you're going to want to try to step out of your car in that blue circle. Now, this does work with any garage. You just have to make sure that where you step out is over that blue circle. However, I have found this particular garage to be the easiest out of any garage that there is in the game. So you may have a little bit of a long loading screen here. This generally means things worked. And as you can see, this garage is full. This is my supercar garage where I keep all my favorite supercars, mostly crew colored out, not completely quite yet. Something we're still working on. So then you just turn right back around and walk right back out of your garage. When you come out, you're going to be looking for something in particular. So you're going to want to run back into your car, and what you're going to want to look for is on the left side of the car, that door should have spawned back on. Now this is very important, because this is what makes the glitch solo. So if that door does not spawn back on your car, you have a problem. It means that your original will continue to despawn. So if this is the case, no big deal. All you'll need is a friend, and he can come sit in your car in between, and I'll tell you guys when that's appropriate. Now, if not, if the door does spawn back on just like normal, then that's absolutely wonderful, 100% fantastic. This glitch will be solo. What you then want to do is you want to take your car in, you want to fully upgrade it and put as much money into it as you possibly can. This means everything you possibly can. You want the most expensive option, except for the paint. The paint is an exception. Now in this video I did end up putting my crew color on my car, which is a rather expensive paint, and I put my crew emblem on it too. And instead of changing the paint every time I change the pearlescent, which is slightly more expensive, in doing so I also have more money, and this is mainly a glitch for people who might not have enough money. Also, you might not want to forget this. I've been in situations often where, you know, I might have 20 or 30 million. With the last car duplication glitch, I actually had upwards of 60. Not the most recent one with the clubhouses, but the one with the CEO office garage. I had about $60 million, spent all of it on supercars, yachts, everything under the sun, and then I was all out of money. I was down to about $700,000. So at that point, I duplicated some of these bad boys, and I actually got myself back up over just about 2 million. And that was in the course of maybe 2 to 3 days. Just from logging on and selling a car every 45 minutes. Now, it does not bypass the 45-minute wait, but still to the point, these cars sell for anywhere between $150,000 to $200,000. Now, right now they are currently doing a sale. This is usually a $190,000 car. However, in this video, it will only sell for about $150,000 just because of the current discounts that they're running on GTA Online. Also guys, one more thing to consider, only upgrade this as far as you can. And when I say as far as you can, you guys are going to want to save at least $30,000. The reason I say that is because each one of these cars is going to cost you the cost of a repair, the cost of a respray, which is anywhere between $600 and $700 usually, and on top of that, it's also going to cost you an extra $2,000 for a tracker. Now that is without the current discount. What you want to remember is that this discount will not last forever, and it's going to cost you about $3,000 per duplicate to make, because you are going to want to put a tracker on each one of these, and you're also going to want to respray it, because if you don't respray it, the glitch won't work. So, I'll get more into that later. So what we're going to do here is I'm just going back and breaking off the door and doing this thing one more time. Remember to open your interaction menu. It can really suck you in and ruin your day, especially if you've already upgraded your car, because at that point, you know, you just put a tracker on a car that you just wasted $300,000 to $400,000 on, and you won't even get to make any duplicates out of it. So we really want to avoid that. So in an effort to do that, you really want to make sure you keep your interaction menu open until you're parked. When you're parked, you won't be sucked in. Don't worry about that. So we're just going to step back out and step back in. I like to do this every time I change something about the car, because sometimes things go wrong and sometimes the duplicates don't quite spawn. But I mean, it's really just per reference. I would recommend it. If I were you, I would do it. So I'm just going to turn right back around, head right back out there. Waiting here. Okay, and as soon as you get back out, just one more time, you're also going to check that door. Because if that door is not on, again, you will need a friend. Now, if you've already spent the money, no big deal. If you have a friend, you can stay in the session, wait for your friend to join you, and you can have them either stand on top of your car or sit in it, or something like that. And like I said, I'll tell you guys as soon as that is the appropriate time to do so, should your door not be spawning on. Now, if your door is not spawning immediately, another thing you might want to do is just find a new car and or find a new session. So, what I'm pretty much going to do here is I'm going to break off the door so it's nice and easy to get back into our car. What we're going to be doing is essentially the same thing we did to test this. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to try to park your back wheel as close to this as you can. Now, if your back left wheel isn't exactly where I put mine, it's not a big deal. You actually want to be on that little square. I didn't park on the square just because you need that door to open. If that garage door isn't opening, that's your very first priority. Is you want to make sure that thing is opening as soon as you sit in the car, because otherwise it can be very difficult for you to get in under there. So then what we're going to do is we're just going to open up our Gerald job. And then we're going to quit as soon as it starts. So on Xbox, it's just B and then A. On PlayStation, it is circle and then X. So then you're going to want to get back in your car, wait for that door to open a little bit, because if the garage door isn't open, you'll actually crash into it, and then your car will die if you're too slow. If it dies, it's not a big deal. You just get in the duplicate behind you. It will still spawn outside. Just go get in your duplicate, go break the door off, and park in front of your garage again, get out, and start over with that new duplicate. So no big deal if your car dies. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm just changing my pearlescent on my car. But for you guys, you might want to go with a little bit cheaper of an option. Like I said, these paints on discount are about anywhere between $500 and $600 for the cheapest ones. Off discount, they are all around $600 and $700. So you guys really want to consider the price for repairing, the price for the respray, and the price for the tracker, which again will come to about $3,000. Now this part's really important. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to sit perfectly still for just about anywhere between 3 and 5 seconds. Now I did it a little bit too long here. I mean, you don't really need to be this serious about it. And my duplicate didn't spawn this time, which was strange. But then a couple seconds later, I turn around and boom, there it is. So that was really strange. Not too sure what happened there. A duplicate should always spawn. If it doesn't spawn, all you do is just break off the door and start again. Or you break off the door and then you park in front of the Los Santos Customs, start the Gerald job, and try again. It's not that big of a deal. So what we're doing here is we're just breaking off the door, getting this car ready for our next duplicate. This is our original. So this is the one that needs to stay a thing. So if anyone comes over and starts messing with you, you should be in passive mode for this, by the way. But if anyone does come over and start messing with you guys, what you're going to want to do is sit in your original. They can blow up the duplicate all they want. Just camp out, wait for them to leave, and that'll be that. You really just don't want to lose that original. So what we're going to do here is we're going to park right in front of this thing, let the door open, and we're going to look back at our car the entire way in. Now I've heard that helps keep it from despawning. I've never actually seen it despawn in a lobby where the door did spawn back on. So it's not really necessary if you ask me, but it's just one of those things that I do from time to time just to be extra precautious. And it's something I would advise to you guys because I'd hate to be responsible for it, telling you guys not to do it and then having it despawn on you guys. So then what you're going to do is you get right back into your original now that you have your tracker on that one. You park right here, and you'll notice you can be a little further away this time and the door will actually open for you. And then what we're going to do is we're going to open up our Gerald job again, just rinsing and repeating here. And as soon as that's open, we just back right back out, quit, and we're going to run right back into our car. Now the important thing here is to make sure you have your camera angle right. You want to make sure that when you spawn in, you twist your camera first. Your car won't actually die until you've gotten into it. So you have time to get into it. What you want to avoid doing is getting in on the passenger side and getting in from behind, because it will start as soon as you press either Y or triangle to get in the car. So you want to make sure you're as close to the driver's seat as possible before pressing the vehicle enter button. So now we're leaving the Los Santos Customs. We're going to wait a couple seconds. This one is how it should look every time. The last one was kind of a fluke. Now we're just going to turn our camera, and boom, there's our duplicate spawned right there. What we're going to do is we're going to drive up past it, get out, break the door off, and park this right back against that barricade because we are in our original. Now the easiest way to look for whether it's your original or your tracker, because sometimes when you just get doing it for so long, you will forget, I guarantee it. You a good hint is you can't put a tracker or sell the original. It won't let you. So just keep an eye out for that. If you can put a tracker on it, do it. That's my motto, because you can't put one on the original. It won't let you. So that's the safest way to do it. So as you guys can see here, it has actually spawned those duplicate cars into these free spots that I happen to have over in this garage, and as well as I think I had like 1 or 2 of them spawn over in my CEO office garage, and they've also spawned a couple other places. I made like, I think 6 or 7 of these, even though I didn't show all of them, and that is just about everything that there is to do. Now, as you guys may have noticed, everyone in my session left. That is totally fine. Even after they left, I continued making duplicates. The session will still work, the lobby will still work, even after people leave. You don't have to maintain a high number of people in the session to be able to do the glitch. If they're there in the beginning and the lobby is broken, the lobby will remain broken until the end of time, whether there's 1 people, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. Pretty much until everyone logs off of that lobby and they have a chance to do maintenance on it and fix it. Now, one other side note, if your door is not spawning on your car, I've heard you can actually get in and out of your car a few times and go back into the garage and back out and back in and back out, and that's supposed to do some kind of fixing for it, I guess. I've tried this before and it hasn't worked for me. So guys, if your door is not spawning back on, just cut your losses, don't waste your time. Just find the new session or find the new car, one of the two. If a new car isn't working, just find the new session where the door is indeed working. There are lots of these sessions out there. They're not too hard to find. Some do take upwards of 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes upwards of 15 and 20. But you got to remember, that's not time actually spent looking, that's time spent loading in between going session to session. So that's pretty much all for today's video. I do want to say thank you all for the incredible amount of support. I'm already at, I think, 23 or 24 subscribers, and I've only been a YouTuber for 7 days now, 1 whole week, and I'm already up that high. And I just want to say thank you guys to everyone who's subscribed, who's continuing to show support, and I want to say thank you to everyone who's watching this video even for the first time and has never even heard of my channel before. Your viewership counts to me, and I appreciate it. And you guys are what keeps me going, making these videos. So subscribe if you're new around here, don't want to miss any content. And without further ado, I will see you guys in the next one.